goes down, I think it was with Alan Gentry, goes down the Mississippi, takes them weeks to get down there. He's there on a job to sell some goods to the people of New Orleans, and it's his first real picture of, the pre-war South. His first real picture of, gas lanterns and big city, and he's just overwhelmed with it. And one day he notices that he keeps being followed by this little guy who he is sure is a vampire, and so a chase ensues, which you're going to hear about. And this is the moment in the book where Abe meets one of his vampire hunting allies, who I think you'll be familiar with. They turned onto Dauphine Street and were gone, but the feeling of invading eyes remained. This time the source was plain as day. I spotted a pale little fellow across the street, half hidden in an alley, his eyes unquestionably fixed on me. He was dressed entirely in black, with a mess of hair to match, and a small mustache beneath his dark glasses. Unmistakably a vampire. Seeing that he had been discovered, the figure turned and disappeared into the alley. This I could not leave uninvestigated. Aching head be damned, I left my friend to his own stumblings, and I hastened after the stranger, chasing him down the alley to Conti Street, and then across Basin Street, where the devil sought refuge behind the cemetery walls. I had been no more than 10 paces behind him, but on reaching the gates, I perceived him not. He had vanished, lost in a maze of crypts. I wondered if he had simply slipped into one of them, wondered how many vampires were. And what mean you by chasing me so, sir? I spun around and raised my fists. He was behind me, his back against the inside of the cemetery wall, clever devil, staring at me, his dark glasses in his fingers, his tired eyes and high forehead. Chasing you, sir, I said. What meant you by running? Well, sir, the manner in which you shielded your eyes from the light, the familiar glance you shared with the gentleman in the coach, I thought you a vampire. Abe could scarcely believe what he had heard. You thought me a vampire, he asked. But A smile drew over the little man's lips. He looked at the dark glasses in his fingers, at the look on this tall stranger's face. He began to laugh. I believe us both guilty of grave misjudgments. Forgive me, sir, said Abe, but am I to understand that you are not a vampire? Regrettably, no, he said, laughing, or I should still have my breath. I offered my apology and extended my hand. Abe Lincoln, I said. The little man took it. Edgar Poe. Abe and Edgar will have a fascinating friendship throughout the book. They will share many a conversation about the nature of vampires, and Abe begins to suspect later in the book that Edgar would actually rather be a vampire. I mean, he's just so fascinated with them, and we find out sort of how Poe becomes interested in his own Gothic literature and poetry.